Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I feel like I've been on this whole journey, like the whole of 2025, with trying to decide what I want to do with my career and just like figuring that out, and simultaneously, like through the whole thing, really like doing my best to lean into where I feel that the Lord is calling me and not getting distracted by things that I like not getting distracted. Yeah, I guess like some distractions, and then like keeping my eyes on my priorities for life, because it's so easy to get distracted by like things that might seem really fun in the moment, but like maybe long term might not be something that I want. So I'm just gonna speak from my experience, and then maybe you can relate to it, and maybe not. And so like take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But so I started off this year really excited about family medicine, and that's also kind of why I started this YouTube channel, because as a family medicine doctor, like I want to have the option one day to have my own clinic. And so I was like, okay, well, this YouTube channel is a really great way for me to share a little bit about who I am, what kind of medical practice I intend to have one day, kind of my values and what I stand for. And that way, when I am ready to open my own clinic one day, it'll be a lot easier to bring in patients who align with my values and my mission. And so, and I also went on a trip to visit my cousin who has some little kids, and I was like, I really hope I remember that the most important thing to me is being a mom and a wife and raising my kids, and just like my value of my family is really important, even though I do love medicine. I love learning about the human body. I love challenges and like overcoming challenges and doing hard things. And that's not to say that you can't do both. There are many women who are surgeons, who are also moms, and who are doing all the things, and who are maybe doing it well, maybe not. I don't know, because I don't know a lot of them personally. A lot of them I follow on social media. No, that's not right. The women who I've met who are surgeons and moms who I was working with over the last couple of months, they seem awesome, and they seem like they are doing it well. And so all that to say, it can be done. And I'm not saying that that it's impossible, or that it's like necessarily wrong to choose that. I think that's just like, if that's like your desire, then I think you could do that. And so I entered my surgery rotation, and I really loved surgery. Like I was in a location too where they let me do a lot of stuff. They taught me how to do the sutures. They let me do like some incisions and some like other things to actually help be involved in the case, which makes the case a lot more fun, rather than when you're just standing and watching, which, you know, sometimes that's much better for a medical student, because if we don't know what we're doing, you know, it's a little bit riskier of a surgery. Then it's much better for us to be kind of standing off to the side rather than helping. But you know, when we help, we learn, and by also helping, it's a lot more fun, because I'm actually doing something and I'm not just watching the minutes tick by. So so it was really fun, and I got to learn a lot, and I felt valued, and it was really wonderful. And so I thought I wanted to do surgery. That was on my general surgery rotation, and then I got into my orthopedics rotation, and it was also wonderful. And I worked with some really amazing doctors and residents, but I started to get really real with what it would mean for me to switch from applying family medicine to applying surgery, which is so funny because they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Family medicine is like, you know, a lot of primary care. I guess you do some procedures, and I do really like that about family medicine, but you're like really in the communities. You're talking to a lot of people. You like often might have like busy clinic days, versus surgery is you are not talking to people nearly as much as you are, patients. You're not talking to patients nearly as much as you are in family medicine. You're mostly doing things like with your hands, which is actually, I really like doing that because it's fun to develop a skill and to like physically do things. So they're very, very different, and I like them a lot for different reasons. But surgical specialties are much more competitive to apply to than family medicine specialties. That's just how it is. And so I got really real with myself about what it would mean to apply to a surgical specialty. And so I talked to a lot of surgeons, especially female surgeons, because it is just a little bit different as a woman versus a man. Especially if you are a woman wanting kids, it's just a little bit different in surgery. So I talked to women who are surgeons and who have kids, or women who are surgeons who want kids, or still developing their practice. I talked to attendings. I talked to a couple of residents. And for about 2 weeks, I was what felt like if you can imagine, like a sandstorm, like in the desert. That is how I felt. I felt like I was in the middle of a sandstorm. I would wake up in the morning and want to do one specialty, and then get to the hospital and want to do another specialty, and maybe later that evening I would switch again, and I kept just switching and switching and switching, and it was just like kind of a lot to deal with, as you might imagine. And after about a week, about halfway through all this, I shared with Hannah, and I was like, hey, by the way, this is happening. And she was like, whoa, yeah, that's a lot going on. And so, but I'm really honestly like thankful that I can lean on the Lord and on my faith, because I wasn't really stressed about it. Like, I was a little bit stressed, especially in the beginning when I thought I had to decide right away. And then as time went on, I realized, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about making a decision until the dust settles. And I felt like, I really felt like it was out of my control of when the dust was going to settle. So there was nothing I could do in the meantime to make the dust settle faster, and there was nothing I could do about making a decision because I just kept changing my mind. And so that was like a really interesting time where in the past, before I knew Jesus, I might have turned like to superstitious things. I don't know, just like I think I might have tried to control it myself. But with knowing that God has a plan for me, and he has a plan for this earth, and that like while my life does matter to him, it's also like simultaneously pretty insignificant, because I'm just one person. Like, I'm not, like, in a good way, I'm not that important. And there's other people who've come before me who've felt this same thing, who felt this whole like uncertainty about picking a specialty or making a big decision. And so I knew in the end it was going to be okay. And that gave me a lot of peace in the chaos, which was like a really interesting feeling as I was navigating it. And also what helped me to not be so stressed was just to like say what I was feeling in the moment to Hannah as things were coming up. Like, oh, Hannah, by the way, now I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. Oh, a few hours later, just kidding, I'm going to do family medicine. That's literally what happened. And so I just want to share this because I think a lot of the times, whether or not you're in medicine, because this is like a relatively unique situation, picking a medical specialty as a medical student, but it's still like applicable because it's making a big decision about your life, about the trajectory of your life. And I ultimately, when the dust started to settle, I started to remember more clearly my priorities and why I decided on family medicine in the first place. For me, I really love just helping people, and I love connecting with people, and I love hearing people's stories, and I love helping people in different ways. So like if a person has been to a doctor for a certain condition and for so long they've not been able to find a solution, I I love problem solving too. I'm an engineer, and I really like, that's the kind of person I want to help, and I want to like get to the bottom of it and try maybe alternative methods of helping people when Western medicine fails or Western medicine doesn't have answers. Like, I love looking for answers and solving problems. And so I started to remember that. And then I started to remember about, oh, like I really value just like being home with my kids. And as a surgeon, it's a lot harder to do that because just like physically the hours are longer. You have to dedicate a lot of time to training to be a good surgeon, which is a good thing, because when someone is cutting open someone else to like fix them or to do surgery on them, like you want your surgeons to be really well trained. And so I totally understand and respect the long hours of surgery. But then I started to realize like I don't have to do that if I don't want to, and I get to choose to do something that's not hard, which like to me feels like a big realization, because in my life, just like always being such a high achiever and pushing myself to do the next hardest thing and to do the challenging thing, I've always felt like I have to pick the hard thing. And a lot of the times, like I like doing hard things, like I like to do challenging things, but to come to the realization of, oh, like I don't have to push myself and I don't have to do this hard thing. And granted, I probably will push myself in other areas of my life to be good at other things, but it's just so liberating to first of all make that choice, and to, on the other hand, know that whatever I pick, like God is going to make the outcome good, because he makes all things good. And so I'm back to family medicine. That is kind of the update with this whole journey that I've been on of trying to decide which medical specialty that I want to pursue. It's been a journey, and I'm really thankful that I went through that, because not only did I get to practice leaning on the Lord in a time of uncertainty and chaos, I also feel even more peace about being a family medicine doctor, even though before I had decided it, I had kind of gone through like a test of my decision of, oh, well, I actually really like this other thing as well. Like I really, really liked surgery, but I also really like family medicine. And I've always also been the kind of person who I pursue what I like. Like I've never come across something that I really like and I'm interested in that I haven't pursued. And so that was also kind of hard to say, okay, well, even though I really like this, I think I'm going to pick something else. And so all that to say, I am really excited to move forward with this. I'm really excited to have the time to pursue other hobbies. I'm excited to have the time to pour into my community and the people around me, and to learn even more about medicine in different ways, and to keep up with all the new research that's coming out about like how to like help your body. I just saw, like, when I'm thinking about that is I just saw a podcast of a physical therapist that I really like, who really focuses on a lot of preventative physical therapy for people, and she has like Instagram videos and like a whole like platform and stuff, and she just had a podcast that came out recently that said bunions might not be entirely genetic, which is supported by research. And a lot of modern medicine says bunions are genetic. If you want to know what kind of feet you're going to have as like an older person, then look at your parents' feet, and that might not be entirely true. And so I'm really excited to see on top of things like that, and add value to spaces on social media and in this space as well. So there's been a lot kind of going on behind the scenes, and I am really excited about where things are going to go, and to continue to pursue God and to build all of this fun stuff I'm building, especially with Star Sisters too. And yeah. So anyway, just want to share that update with you, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast or this this video, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. You can also go find me over on Instagram at Kate Genty. It's just my name. I would really love to hear from you. Hear what resonated, hear what maybe didn't resonate, or maybe like a season you found challenging, that you found challenging to lean on the Lord, or you also found it really, really supportive to lean on Him. Yeah, I would love to hear from you. And I hope you have a really wonderful rest of your day. Bye!